Hello and welcome everyone to another StarCraft 2 England cast. Now today I have got a game I'm casting on behalf of Mobility Gaming. Their logo's down here, go check them out, they're an awesome new SC2 team. I of course am SC2 England, my Twitter's down here, my YouTube channel's youtube.com/Madals91, which is MADALS91. So check that out. And our players today are, well, ExE, who is the red Protoss player in the top left position, and Paradox, who is the pinky coloured Terran in the lower left. And the map is MLG's version of Teldarim. No forced cross spawns, obviously. It is still just a huge map, so it doesn't really matter. Neither player will probably go for a kind of Nexus or Command Center first build, but we may see a relatively fast expansion out of both of these players. So possibly something like a 1 Rax Command Center out of Paradox. ExE or 1 Gate expand is probably most likely. We will see here ExE just wanting to go cross spawn position, but changes his mind at the last second. Bit peculiar, but that's fine. So what will we see? Well, it's a TVP. And really this is quite interesting. Well, from Paradox, almost certainly we're going to see an infantry ball, because it's what you do, which means ExE has the option of going for either High Templar or going for Colossi. And really that depends on his own personal preference, whether he wants to go like really heavy zealot with Archons, or whether he's more comfortable getting standard gateway units with a lot of Colossi support there as well, just to deal the splash damage. So it'll be interesting to see how each of these players do cope with it. Paradox, as I said, he's going to go for infantry, so Marine Marauder with some medevacs. Get stim really early because stim units just wreck gateway units. It's sick. And he'll then kind of transition into Ghost, because Ghosts are, obviously they've got the snipe to deal with the Archons, the EMP is great against Protoss shields, and it's generally, they're just some nice units, so that's almost certain now. This one SCV, judging by the minerals banked up there, Paradox is going for that 1 Rax Command Center, as I thought he would. ExE, so far, he's going his cybernetics core down, he's got that 1 gas, so just going to be slightly delayed in his own expansion, but nothing too worrying there. Apparently there's some lag going on, which is always a shame. I know I casted a live online tournament, the Antec Attack, and because it's online you get lag sometimes, and it really does mess up the game significantly, which is a bit of a shame. So we will see here ExE coming down, taking his Nexus, so only fractionally behind, about 30-ish seconds behind that of Paradox, but with Chrono Boost, obviously economy-wise they're going to be pretty similar. The Chrono Boost is actually not being spent at the moment, so it'll be interesting to see where these do go off. They're actually on this Stalker, so just for some really early defense, ready to deal with anything that Paradox may throw at him, any sort of really early play, any early pressure especially. But judging by this bunker position, where Paradox is in this for the long haul, he's going to just gain a defensive spot and just smack her up, because why the hell not? You may see some drop play because there's this large amount of dead space behind the main base, so you can happily dart in. Also the third base is quite exposed. The natural as well, there's all of this space around here, which isn't too easy to deal with, and you can drop here and come up into the main and back, and there's lots that can be done there if Paradox does choose to go for it. Meanwhile ExE, he's getting out that robotics facility, so that's for an observer. Obviously this is when observers take 10 seconds less to build. Yay! So that basically means that our Protoss buddies can scout slightly better, especially against Terran, because Terran with Marines at the front, you just can't get through. This one Stalker's going to be scared away by that bunker because it just does so much damage, and just can't be taken out by a single Stalker on its own. Meanwhile, we've got Warp Gate Tech on the way. Our Chrono Boost going off on probes now. So clearly wanting to get ahead economically. If we look at the work account, well, it's 27 to 21 in favour of ExE. Paradox obviously does have mules though. Mules are awesome. An engineering bay coming out here for Paradox. Paradox, he does have this tech lab, but hasn't started stim yet. And he really needs that ASAP. And there we go. I was just watching the gas go up, thus I knew it was about to pop. And a reactor on the other barracks, so he can start kind of Marauder and double Marine production. We'll probably get +1 ground infantry attack, which is sort of the standard upgrade to get. Meanwhile, we'll probably see ExE go for +1 armor first, if he doesn't go for double upgrades, because it just means Marines are a lot less effective, because Marines have a relatively high rate of fire. and therefore it's better. I mean, if you're generally up against units which have faster rate of fire, so say Zerglings against Roaches, for example, the Roaches benefit a lot from the +1 armor upgrade, whereas not so much from a +1 missile attack, whereas Zerglings obviously benefit massively from +1 melee attack, but less so from +1 armor. So, what are we going to have? Well, this looks like it could be a little niche timing push, which could be quite nice, except that Stalker is going to see it. Almost definitely does see it. Yeah, it did. So, that means that obviously Quix can prepare for it, assuming he was paying attention, which it does look like he was going to do. And now that Stalker is coming back, but the Marauder has seen it. So what is this push going to be able to do? Not too much. There's 3 sentries out. That probe is going to walk right into it, though. Not the smartest probe in the world, but it does look like Quix is going to pull up away everything, because he has invested a lot in getting this robotic space to get Colossi out super quick, and now he's actually going to have to engage with the probes as well, which is never the best position to be in, but to be honest, Quix is going to be able to clean this up pretty nicely. Did he lose any workers? Yeah, he's lost 5, but that's not huge. He's able to hold this quite nicely now. Meanwhile, obviously Paradox, he's getting up that second tactical lap. Stim is about to finish. The +1 infantry weapon's about to finish up. The reactor on the factory for the starport switch to get that double medevac production. I do believe, yeah, Paradox did see that robotics bay come down, so knows the Colossi are on their way. So this starport may actually be used for Viking production, because obviously that's the best way to counter Colossi is with Vikings, which are insanely good against Colossi. Concussive shells on the way, so is combat shield. Stim has finished up. +1 infantry armor on the way out for Paradox. So far for Quix, I cannot see any forge, so he's going to be a long way behind in terms of upgrades. And I do apologise for my sudden inability to speak, but in England it's like 28 degrees C at the moment. It's like a mini heatwave, so everyone is just ceasing to function. In England, if it gets too hot or it snows, everything just stops. We can't deal with it. So Quix is clearing out the rocks to the 3rd anyway now, so looking to take his 3rd base relatively soon. Concussive shells is done. A 2nd engineering bay coming out. So is the armory, allowing those 2 upgrades, and also the ship upgrades for the Vikings. Currently medevacs being pumped out of this starport. A 2nd starport is being added though, so that's a really good move, because then you can get the medevac and the Vikings, which are essential. Thermal lance nearly out now for Quix. He's got his 2nd Colossi up. Once he hits about 4, that's really the money spot. It's when it starts being insanely effective against the Terran infantry ball. Before 4, it's a bit dodgy, because the Terran player could just stim in and snipe it out with Marauders. So that's quite nice. We've got drop coming in here from Paradox. This could do quite a lot, except it will get spotted. It's full up with Marauders, but going straight for the main base actually, and it looks like all of Quix's attention is on this factory, and just completely missed this, and this could be big. If it gets the forge or even the robotics, this would be huge. The Colossi are coming back to deal with this, and well, there we go. I'm going to get a stim down there, and well, this is really awkward, because there's a big push coming down now for Paradox. But that will be forced out there by the Colossi, and everything is going to run away, which is good. There is a drop going down at this 3rd base though, and that does get taken out. Only 4 Colossi were lost. If you take a look actually at the resources lost tab, Paradox has been quite cost effective. Not as good as it could be, but obviously it's still good. Viking numbers are getting up higher now, and a command center as well as 3 more barracks being added on here. So obviously we will see Paradox wanting to take his own 3rd base, as well as ramp up that production in line with that. Obviously the 3rd base is up for Quix though, so he was behind a bit on getting the natural, but is now ahead on that 3rd. If you look at the work count, 52 to 54 in Paradox's favour. That should start going back to Quix's favour once this 3rd base's production starts kicking in. +1 ship weapons is about 3/4 done for Paradox, so those Vikings are going to be even more effective against the Colossi. Upgrade wise for Quix, he's just got 1/1 finished, and that is compared to 2/2, already 1/4 done for Paradox, so a bit behind there. The Twilight Council is only half done as well, so to be honest, that 2-2 is going to be pretty much finished before the 2-2 for Quix is even started, which is not the greatest point to be in. We will see a lot of these barracks being added on with tech labs and only one reactor, so very Marauder heavy army coming out here. There goes the 2-2, so about half behind, 90 seconds behind, so there's going to be a nice 90-second window that Paradox could go and push and have the upgrade advantage, so it'll be interesting to see if he does decide to utilise that. Just looking around Quix's base, well, he's not got too much going on. He's got a new robotics facility built, and really the fact that one got sniped out means that his production was hit in terms of Colossi, and this is a big drop. This is a really big drop, but there is a pylon coming down and the stalkers are there, so they're going to spot it and Paradox is going to pull back, which is a good move. Meanwhile though, there's an observer out and that's seeing everything. The Viking numbers are getting pretty high. What's the Colossi count at? Only 3, and the 4th one isn't even in production yet, so those Vikings are going to shred out those Colossi, especially with their upgrade advantage. Look how quickly one Colossi falls down nearly instantly. We've got dual strong attack coming down here, but the Vikings are getting shredded by the Stalkers, but the third base of Quix is going to go down if he is not insanely careful. But it looks like Paradox actually stimming forward, getting trapped with some force fields, and I didn't really like that move at all. He lost a lot of stuff and didn't really do any significant damage. He only managed to actually kill 2 Colossi, one still remaining. And there, where Paradox was being more cost effective, that was a really bad engagement. About 1,000 more resources lost there. Meanwhile, this ping, happily helping me out that the command center Catalan next to the third base because the rocks haven't been taken out yet. But these extra 3 barracks are really showing how quickly Paradox can re-macro up. Templar Archives are on the way out somewhere. Where are they? Where is that Templar Archives? Actually, did it just get cancelled? It did! A Dark Shrine coming out now, so that is a bit surprising. I am really surprised that no, Templar Archives is down. What am I on about? So yeah, Templar Archives is down for those Archons, the Dark Shrine coming down as well. No missile turrets out anywhere for Paradox actually, so the Dark Shrine could be pretty good, and this is a big drop getting loaded up here. The medevac numbers are a bit low, but the Viking count is super high. The +2 ship weapons coming out as well, obviously for the Vikings there. The Colossi numbers are pretty low though. Sonic Storm is coming out, but no High Templar on the field at the moment at least, so that could be a bit of a problem. This observer perfectly placed to see that massive drop come in, and everything getting unloaded, ready to come and deal with this. But the 3 cannons, 2 Archons and 2 Colossi, this push isn't going to be able to do very much at all. But what I love Paradox, what he is doing, which is absolutely beautiful, is doing this kind of 2-prong attack, attacking the natural and third base at the same time and forcing Quix to split his army. There's some good force fields there though, but still doing an awful lot of damage. The Vikings are going in, and this is a big engagement in 2 places at once, but Quix does have the superior supply and is clearing this out very nicely. His Dark Shrine is finished as well now, getting the 3-3 upgrades, already a quarter done. There's no sign of 3-3 yet at all out of Paradox, and I can't help but feel Paradox is getting himself awkwardly behind now. He needs to do something about that relatively quickly because the tech advantage is definitely there for Quix. He's also securing a 4th base for himself, which is very nice. That 4th base is gonna really make or break this game. Paradox didn't actually manage to take down this 3rd early on when he tried to. This Dark Shrine not being used for anything yet. Actually has been used. 2 are on the way in, so really how much damage are these going to be able to do? Well, probably not much because the scan could just go down. There is any energy for a scan anywhere. 2-2, no there's not, and if a mule is called then that is going to literally make poor little Paradox cry, but hopefully he will just be slightly delayed. No, he doesn't, he calls the mule, so that means he has got no detection to deal with this DT, and this DT is literally just going to be able to go to town. This is not a nice position for Paradox to be in, just losing SCV after SCV after SCV, and with literally nothing he can do about it. And that is awkward. Very awkward. The other DT just checking for a 4th base out of Paradox. Has seen the command center come down, and there goes the scan. But wisely, Quix only sent 1 DT in rather than 2, so he can now just follow up with the second one. Missile turrets are coming down everywhere though, but Quix is coming down with all of his army behind this. He's nearly maxed out. Upgrade wise, 3-3 is finished now. He's getting the +1 Protoss shield upgrade as well, and a forward pylon ready for that resupply. And where is that probe? There's a probe there somewhere building it, but got it, I know, there we go. So he is getting that pylon down and is maxed out. And this is actually a really scary army. There's High Templar in there, there's Colossi in there, so the Storms and the Colossi together are going to be huge. The Vikings doing some damage, but some good force fields come down. Storms landing nicely, only one so far. Need to get some more Storms out to deal with the splash damage, superior numbers of Paradox, and Paradox just completely shredded this army like it wasn't even there. That was absolutely sick. The Viking numbers were just perfect, one remaining, and Quix really didn't come out nicely out of that at all. If we take a look at the units lost tab, well, actually no, Paradox still is being less efficient with his units, but he can't afford to do that either because the 4th base for Quix is up and running. And that means that Quix can actually afford to be slightly less cost effective because he has better income and better kind of long-term resource options, whereas Quix, he is only just taking his 4th base now, but there's a lovely DT just sitting there, which will require a scan in order to take that out, and that will be highly frustrating. So highly frustrating. Just checking around a pylon, nice placement of a pylon there. This observer being absolutely fantastic, looking around pretty much everywhere. I've got to say, Quix, he's a long way ahead. Pretty much 40 supply ahead, and that is pretty damn good. And this ping is just going down here. I don't know who the observers are, but they're doing a great job of pinging and showing me everything. And this is the moment where Paradox is like, land. Now like, shit. This is just irritating, isn't it? So, anyway, we will see Quix moving forward. He's got a lot of Zealots in his army. Only 1 Colossi, though, and 4 High Templar, which does beg the question, is he going to have enough splash damage to deal with this big bio ball? Maybe is the only answer. There's 3 medevacs out now. In grand total, there are 5. Not quite sure. The other 2 loaded up here, but doing absolutely nothing. So that's 4 Marauders and 2 medevacs, which aren't going to be involved in this engagement at all. And that can make a big bit of difference, actually, because obviously Quix is maxed out now. Completely maxed out. These Stalkers are looking for this base, which is now located to the very bottom right position. The SCVs, oh, the SCVs, that is unfortunate. The transfer does go through, and a lot get picked off, but obviously that does show Paradox. Actually, Quix's army is just sitting there, 36 SCVs killed against, what was it, 36 against 11. And here you go, a big storm goes off on all of Paradox's army, but his micro was perfect to pull back ASAP, so minimal damage was done there. The medevac energy being wasted though, trying to repair it all up. Personal cloaking the field is, well, personal cloaking rather, is coming out here. So Paradox, a good blink forward to pick off the Ghost, and that did go down effectively. The EMP against High Templar would be awesome, but you also see a scan goes off just so Paradox can get an exact look at precisely what Quix has got. Quix taking a 5th base behind this as well. And what I love, if you just look at the minimap, look at all those red dots, they're pylons, literally everywhere. So he's got scouting information and walking ability, everything is looking very nice. And Paradox trying to pull back to get a nice little choke to engage here. But those storms are going off, they're doing big damage. That single Colossi is shredding SCVs, and there is the GG from Paradox. So that means Quix wins. Thank you very much for watching this game. If you did enjoy it, please give it a thumbs up. Go check out Mobility Gaming. They're awesome. They're the people who send me this cast. And trying to think what else. Follow me on Twitter, which is at SC2_England. And obviously, last but not least, subscribe to my YouTube, which is youtube.com/Madals91, which is MADALS91. Thank you very much for watching, and tune in again. Bye for now.